What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are doing another video. I wouldn't call it really an experiment, but I guess it's kind of an experiment. It's testing out which upgrades are the best. I've been hearing a lot of people saying Improviser is the best this year for quarterback. You know, there's different things about if you're trying to get a speed for running back, should you go elusive? Should you go receiving back? I want to try and end that debate once and for all, and not even just for everyone, maybe just be a little selfish and just so I know what the best is, because of course when I'm looking for certain upgrades it seems obvious for a lot of things, but it's not always that way. Like I said, when I'm looking for a throw power, it says throwing deep, which is something you need throw power for, is the best to do it. But if Improviser is really the best and it's like glitch or something, I want to have actual facts backing that up, because when I use Improviser it was kind of trash. But the way we're going to do this is we're going to do this in two parts, because this actually took like an hour just to freaking do the rosters. Mainly because, once again, once you go, put your roster, I want 80 speed for Mond, 80 Excel, 80 Agility, 80 COD, 70 Strength, this, that, and the other thing. When you get all that in, it's like, oh, did you mean 78 speed, 79 Excel, 82 Agility, 87 Throw Power, 84 Awareness? It's like, no, I wanted it right on the nose, but thank you for making it really difficult. Like, it was really annoying, and of course, it's going to take a long time just to do the upgrades in general, so obviously, we'll do this in two parts, assuming you guys want to see another part, because I think defense is maybe a little bit more, expected, right? Like, if you have a power edge rusher, you're going to go for power rush, right? Like, it's pretty obvious, but I guess if you're looking for block shed, maybe you want to go power move because you might have a chance at both. Corner, maybe if you're going for speed, as a little debate, is it man coverage, is it zone, or is it the very coveted slot upgrade, which has actually been very good. So maybe some of those positions, but I suppose it's not as needed. So if we were to, knock off one side of the field, I suppose neglecting the defense would make a little more sense, because the offense has a lot more kind of abilities. But of course, you can see here a lot of low overalls. We have them all with the same ratings, I assume. Once again, I tried my best. You can see here, this is off. We gotta change Kabinda, but Diami Brown, Terrace Marshall, all those guys. As far as the offensive linemen, there's only, these are tight ends, of course, but for offensive linemen, there's only 3 upgrades for that as well, so we're just gonna do tackles, because once again, on the interior, in my opinion, it's likely that you're gonna go for power when you're going with these interior guys, because once again, you do need to go for power, because those are usually gonna be the bigger guys, whereas the edge, typically finesse, not guaranteed though. And then once again, I didn't touch the defense, but 300% sliders. I hope I can at least get 10 upgrade points for each player, which is maybe a little too much to ask for, but we'll do it. I say that, but some of the guys already have multiple upgrade points. Maybe this is actually going to be a little bit better than I thought. Hopefully, though, the game isn't like, you don't have enough points for the bucket. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much to ask for. Just like it's probably not too much to ask for if you were to like and subscribe. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PKR Plays, twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams. I will say it's going to be a little weird for streams this week because Raiders franchise is kind of in the playoff situation, so I don't know what I want to do with that. Like I said, I don't want to stream it. But I also don't know if you guys are really interested in non-Madden streams. So maybe back on like the end of the week, hopefully. Kind of depends on what happens in the Raiders franchise. I also don't want to spoil it being like, oh yeah, we're going to do the draft on Friday. It's like, oh, well, then he lost, clearly. Or, well, I don't know when's the next time we're going to be able to stream it because, nothing. We clearly didn't win, Let's go with 7 wins. I think we'll get 10 upgrade points. This should be interesting. Screw it, it's close enough. I mean, I don't want to start going into the season and then, players start regressing their morale. Everything's even right now. Fullback and tight end could be slightly skewed, but that's fine. Those are positions no one cares about, even though I love tight ends. But I think I'm going to leave quarterback for last because that could be annoying. This whole thing's going to be annoying. So, once again, if you don't mind leaving a like and I'm just saying. Screw it, I'll go start in order. I don't want to freaking mess this up. So we are going to start with Trevor Lawrence. We got to make sure we do not mess up which one we're upgrading. I think it'll be pretty obvious, but we are going to go for Trevor Lawrence. Every rating is the exact same as his fellow teammates here, and he is going to be the strong arm guy. We will give him 10. So he started off with 35, and once we're at 25, we'll be good to go. So I believe that is 10 upgrade points, which isn't an amazing upgrade, if we're going to be honest with you. I worry, though, that I did put them maybe a little too low, because I would expect more than that out of a 10 upgrade situation. But why would their ratings be low anyways if the awareness is high, right? Like, you would expect a bit better out of that. We'll try again, though, with the next one. So we got 10 for Lawrence. Let's actually put that down real quick. I suppose it doesn't matter the quantity as long as they're all the same, right? So whether we get 1 throw power and 5 deep from this one, but if we were an 80 overall, we would have gotten 2 throw power and 10 deep, it doesn't matter because obviously it's all going to be the same anyways. If, deep is going to be +6, it's going to be +6, right? So it really doesn't matter too much. You did get a lot of mid throw, though. Very good mid accuracy upgrades. For Trey Lance, we're going to go with Field General. So once we get to, what is that, 8, I believe? Like, it's 17. You count 17, right? 17's, not a bad start with that throw power. We'll go all the way through and watch this one. Medium and short. So far, just kind of guesstimating. This seems better so far. But, I mean, obviously we don't know. Could be a bunch of awareness upgrades. Oh, a first 4-man one. Field General's looking pretty good. Throw power might not be the best. Because, I mean, so far, outside of medium accuracy, you didn't really see a whole lot from deep. And we still have a few more to go. 2 more to go to be exact. I suppose it's showing the overall, so probably helps. And 66 overall. I don't remember what Trevor Lawrence ended with, to be honest. So 66 overall for Trey Lance, and they're not going to show... Okay, 68 overall for Trevor Lawrence with a 66 for Trey Lance. If we look at the upgrades, I'll just compare them at the end. We'll just do a comparison at the end. It doesn't really matter. So 32 upgrades for Trey Lance, where Trevor Lawrence had 27. And I could say that I would say Trey Lance's upgrades were more significant. I would say that. Now we're going with what I would assume to be the worst of the bunch, Scrambler. And another 66 overall, Kellen Mond with a total of 40 upgrades points, though. A little bit more towards some of the stats that don't matter as much, though. Like break sack really doesn't come into factor too much. I did... Wait, why does it say throw accuracy medium? Did I accidentally use 1 Field General? I might have actually did 1 Field General, but I mean, more upgrade points, but overall, I can't tell if this is better. Another throw power upgrade for this one as well. I'm not seeing that, Trevor Lawrence is really worth it. All right, so the coveted Improviser definitely came out pretty strong here. Of course, the deep accuracy really didn't get going. I would have expected a speed upgrade from this or Scrambler. Didn't get one on either. I feel like 80 is a very fair speed to put everyone at because, of course, you're not really going to typically get too much higher than that, and you shouldn't get any lower than that. But, yeah, I mean, that's the most upgrade points, I believe, at 44. Was it the most valuable? I mean, it was all right. But based on all of them, if I were to guess which one I think is the best, I would probably say they all got 1 throw power, which is interesting. That might just be due to the fact that he is a lower throw power in 85. But I think I probably would say Improviser is the best. We ended up with, 8 throw under pressure, 11 throw on the run, which is a really nice ability as well. 10 short. Was it 5 mid and 6 break? Only 5 mid? Am I feeling okay? Like, am I doing things wrong here? Hello, what's going on here? Was it only 5 mid? It was only 5 mid. Okay, I guess I'm not doing anything wrong. So this is kind of tough because throw under pressure is a very good thing to, want upgraded, and I believe that was the best out of all of them. So it's kind of tough, but I would say either Improviser or I would say Field General. I would probably lean towards Field General, with Improviser being the maybe better one, just because you have a chance at speed stuff. So I would give the nod to Field General just by an inch, but Improviser I'd say is pretty good too. But obviously it does matter what you're trying to upgrade. If you have 88 medium and 92 short, but your deep accuracy 79, your throw power is 87, I would probably just go with the deep accuracy. But obviously this kind of if you're going for a base upgrade or whatever. But let's move on to the running backs now, which, I mean, this is not a long video at all. Clearly not. Carter is going to be the receiving back. All right, so our final upgrade, putting him at a 73 overall. This is the one that I would assume nobody's ever going to use, but 41 upgrade points, not bad in fairness. Change direction 1, ball carrier vision 2, awareness 2, release 2, short route only 4, agility 1, catch of traffic 8, excel +2, spin move +2, 5 juke move, and 12 catching. I'm going to be honest, I'm just not even going to keep these stats down because I'm really not sure who's upgrading for a receiving back. I really don't know why you would want to. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. I mean, even if you have someone like McCaffrey, I don't know why you would. Well, I guess McCaffrey maybe, but I don't think you really need to know what the elusive or the trucking is. Then, if you're going for McCaffrey to be a guy, it really comes down to if you're trying to go for a speed upgrade, do you want trucking or elusive or this or that? So that's what we're testing, and Chuba Hubbard is going to be the elusive back. By the way, I absolutely blundered the quarterback one, and we went by 9 upgrade points. It doesn't matter because they all had the same one, but I counted them correctly, 12 down to whatever, but I got to remember that you end up with the one below, so technically we should have done +1 on each of the quarterbacks. We can still do that, but it really doesn't matter once again. But as far as the elusive back, about the same as the receiving. However, you can obviously see that you definitely get more towards what you're actually aiming for. We got a +1 to speed, a +2 to excel, +3 to agility, and +2 to change direction for all the athletic kind of abilities. 6 spin move, 9 juke move, 4 carrying, 3 ball carrier vision, 6 break tackle. We got 7 awareness. And, I mean, realistically, for this one's going to be a little different. I'm just going to go based on, the actual, speed and stuff. Because, once again, if you're going to be trying to go for a certain style back, you're not going to do, I guess I want an elusive back. I'm going to go for a trucking to try and get some speed. I mean, unless this one comes out crazy that trucking, or whatever it's called, power back gives you a lot of speed upgrades. I don't think that's going to be the case, but here we go. All right, for the last point. And I got to tell you, these upgrades, maybe we got really bad RNG, they were not good. They were not good. We got 38 points. Sure, we got 9 trucking. Sure, we got, I will say, 16 break tackle, which is insane. We got a couple of strength, 3 stiff arm. We got no upgrade to excel, no upgrade to speed, no upgrade to change of direction or agility, which even for a power back, especially nowadays, you want that kind of stuff. So realistically, upgrading power back just kind of seems like a loss. We had +1 to speed, +2 to change direction, +2 to excel, +3 to agility with really good juke move and, spin move abilities. I know this year it kind of does seem like power backs are the wave. They're the best, but you do need a little bit of speed to actually get to the line of scrimmage anyways. So I don't know. I was a little surprised by that. I thought they were going to be better than that. Maybe a speed or 2 in here or there. Maybe it was going to be super sneaky, but it wasn't. It was awful. So once again, choose your style, but it seems like juke move or elusive upgrading is by far the best. And then for quarterback, once again, the field general or improviser. Kind of depends on if you really want speed. Maybe you get lucky with... why is he higher overall? I don't think it really matters too much, but I changed all of it proper. But I guess if you want a speed upgrade, maybe go improviser. May have a chance, and it might. So 8 for him. So we're just going to go for 8 for Mason and what's not. I suppose utility is what we'll do for Mason, so let's do it. All right, I did kind of glance, but the upgrades actually seem pretty good. Fullback upgrades are a little bit harder to come by, though. So from his 8 upgrades, he got 66 upgrade points. How much of that was awareness? Only 6. So as far as what a fullback needs to do for most teams, which is block, he got 5 impact, 5 lead, 4 run block, 11 short, which is route running, 1 to strength. So his blocking didn't really go up a whole lot. He went up by 4 run block and 5 lead block with a 5 impact, which is okay. I would love to see where the next guy goes with run blocking itself, but okay, not bad. I always go with blocking, but maybe we change it up. All right, we've finished our 8, and he comes up with about 12 upgrade points less. However, if you like me and you want your fullback to block run-wise, considering he actually got stuff for the different styles like run block power and run block finesse, it definitely is better to use this blocking. Of course, you got 10 to lead block, Got a couple for pass blocking, which, you know, comes into play for some schemes, for most schemes, actually, if you're using a fullback at least. Overall, it's pretty clear-cut, no-brainer, right? If you're trying to get a blocker out of your fullback, which most people do, you go blocking, obviously, and then if you want a pass catcher, I suppose, go with utility, but it just doesn't seem worth it. And now for an interesting one, because this is, you know, wide receivers, a position that gets more upgrades than most positions do. Maybe run. I wonder if you get run block from physical, which is actually pretty clutch, because I don't think I've ever seen run block from the other ones. But release is a big one that, you know, it's kind of hard to say what's the best. Typically it's deep, but, you know, now everything's 90, so we'll see what kind of, you know, upgrades they get for athleticism. And I suppose with Diami, we will start with, who's the best deep threat guy? I guess Shorts, because he's the fastest. We'll start with deep threat. We got our 10 deep threat, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we got a single speed out of that, which is a little disappointing, but we got 60 upgrades, so, I mean, kind of out, you know, coming out to, like, what, 6 per upgrade, which is, you know, pretty good. But 1 acceleration, I suppose, isn't bad. 2 spin, that's good to know as well, because, you know, juke ability is not super easy to get, especially when you see this. 13 to deep route running, which is probably not as important than, you know, some of the other route runnings, because you're not really doing anything too technical with that. 5 spec catch, which is nice. 9 release, which, again, I assume that's the best you're going to get, but we'll see. 11 catching, which is actually really good, and then 6 awareness. So a pretty good upgrade, but once again, no speed upgrade. We'll now move with the slot upgrade. And we finish with, it seems like a lower overall than deep threat. This was always one of my favorite upgrade routes to go. Of course, the upgrades are 11 less. And looking at this, I'm not really liking it. I like that there's short route running and catching traffic, but overall, I'm not seeing anything to release, which is a huge upgrade that you need. So slot just seems like it's absolutely not the move. 2 to break tackle, 1 to agility, 2 deep, 7 catch. I mean, it's really just not great. Of course, if your guy's already great at medium and whatnot, you obviously know that here. If you need a little bit of catching traffic, you need a little bit of short route running. It's not that bad, but definitely if you have a couple of points or you're trying to make your guy one certain way, I probably wouldn't go with slot. It seems not great. But I used to remember slot used to be like a really good upgrade for getting speed and all that, but I mean, that's 10 points, and we didn't really get anything out of that. So now Terrace will be the physical guy. And by far the lowest upgrade or overall so far is physical, and that was with a pretty good final upgrade there. He ends up with 52, so a little bit more than slots. But as you can see here, his route running upgrades were not great, which of course is, besides speed and all that, the most important thing to work on. 3 to medium route, 6 to short route, nothing to deep. I will say, though, once again, if you're trying to make a jump ball receiver and you want a good little bit of catch out the gate, not the worst call with 11 spec, 10 catching traffic, 10 to catching. I was hoping for some run blocking, and I just didn't see it, which is really disappointing because obviously players can get better at run blocking, right? Like it's more realistic to get better at run blocking than it is to improve your speed or your excel, right? So a little surprised that you don't get that with physical. It's actually really disappointing. But yeah, this is an upgrade that I probably would stray away from. And then Diami going with Route Runner, which is probably the number one that I do outside of Deep Threat. And Route Runner finishing off at 72, and a very strong upgrade as well. Let's take a look. So he ended up with 48 points, which I believe is tied for physical, tied for slot actually. But looking at these upgrades, did get that excel right at the end, got that agility spec catch. So deep route is 7, which is 6 less than deep, the actual deep threat. Medium is 13, which is actually not too much higher than the deep itself. It's 7, so about 6 there. Short route, of course, deep didn't have any short route, if I'm not mistaken. Catching 7, which would have been put 4 less, believe it or not, on catching for deep threat. Deep threat was actually really good for that. 8 catching traffic, which only was 6 for the deep threat. And then, once again, release was +1. 9 release for deep threat. So I think this is a clear-cut winner. It's by far deep threat. It's just not even close. The upgrades are so much more significant, especially with what you need. The deep route running itself isn't super needed, but you look here, it was 6 more medium route, but the release was 8 worse. I mean, release is massive in the game, And, Diami being at 71, whereas Schwartz, I think, is at like 79 or 80 because of his upgrades. I mean, that's just a massive win. Like, you just need it. And none of these are they just not going to stay, or what's the story? But let's take a look. What is his release? So 79 release. I mean, he just looks like the better player, right? You glance over, and in my opinion, he just became the better out of all of them in their upgrades, right? I mean, it's just not even close. Elijah's got some good catch in traffic, but it doesn't equal out because that catching isn't super great. Terrace is a bit more balanced, I will say. And then Diami, who definitely had a chance to be one of the best, just wasn't good enough for the release. It's like an odd-looking upgrade. It does seem like the best is a mix of all, but in general, Deep Threat seems like by far the best. And yeah, I'm not going to do a spreadsheet. Just listen to my words. Okay, I'll tell you the right things. And for this one, we're going to do 8. So we're going to start with, I suppose, Pat, who is a run blocker, more or less, I guess. It's probably not going to be a good one, but we'll see. You never know. Maybe it's sneaky. No, it's trash. It's awful. Unless you're trying to make your tight end alignment, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's terrible. All right, so he went a grand total up 2 overalls. He got 44 points, and hell, he got some decent run block stuff and whatnot, but that's awful. If you do run blocking, you need help. Now we move on to Brevin Jordan with our favorite upgrade for tight ends, which is vertical threat, but we'll see how it compares. Possession, if it gives you more route running, which it could, it might be better. I don't know. I think the real question is, are we going to gain a speed upgrade, which I don't know if I've seen much of from tight ends. Of course, vertical threat's always a super fun one, but sometimes disappointing because you see all those points, you're like, ooh, and then you realize like half of it is pass blocking or whatever. It's like, oh, okay. Thanks. I really want my tight end pass blocking often, right? Like, it doesn't come. Oh, that's a big upgrade. +1 of speed and excel in that one. But yeah, my tight end's not going to pass block too much unless he's going out in like a delay block, like a delay fade or whatever. But not bad. And agility. So vertical is already coming up strong. 8 upgrade points. I believe the highest upgrade or upgrading of any of the positions so far. He came away with 70 points. Why is blocking a thing? I don't get why it would be. This is really good. Medium route +9. Deep route +4, which is a little disappointing, I'll be honest with you. Spec catch +2, run block +4. You still get run block stuff even when you don't actually go blocking, which is just so dumb. Like, what's the point? 7 for short block. I mean, it's just a really good looking upgrade. Now, this is going to be closer than I thought. Possession kind of came in clutch. I'm assuming it's going to be more than 70. 78. And of course, this one also did give a speed and an excel. I'm going to have to just kind of line them up side by side here. And I will say that I would say there's like +2 to 3 on average for blocking on this one. Once again, most of it is pass blocking from both sides, but yeah, definitely not really significant. I think you get a little bit of better blocking from possession, and you might get a sliver better from route running from vertical. Now for probably, well, thankfully the last one, but more importantly, the probably the worst one, because it's going to be so random, I feel. So, coming out for power early, I mean, an okay upgrade, right? You know, you expect to upgrade power, that's exactly what happens, but the fact that you only get 1 pass block is a bit sucky, right? Like, I mean, it takes so long to upgrade these linemen in general, but you only really get a chance to upgrade one side, and of course, you only get 1 pass block. With power, you should be probably leading with pass block, or at least coming with like 5 or 6. We did not get that. We got 2 to strength for a power upgrade once again. 1 to pass block, 7 to run block. Once again, the powers were great though. 11 run block power, 11 pass block power, 5 to lead block, 1 to agility, 7 awareness. I will say pass protector has seemed like trash lately, so we're going to see how good it is with 62 as a starting base as well. Now this, I warn you, ladies and gentlemen, this is viewer discretion is advised. Through 10 upgrades, he got this garbage. This is awful. If you compare it alone to the power upgrade, just the pass block stuff, he got 1 less pass block. 1 less pass block. Of course, he didn't get anything for finesse, but 1 less pass block power, and he got 2 more pass block regular, 1 less strength. Awareness, I believe, was 2 less, and obviously he didn't come out with the the run and pass block power with the run and pass block, you know, all that stuff. He didn't get any of that. It is so awful. And of course, will that be the same for agility? We're about to find out. But man, do not do pass protector. It is awful. Of course, in the past, power seems like the best in general, but I will say, obviously, if, you know, you have a tackle that's, you know, going to be going against finesse guys, which I would say the majority of the league is probably, you know, slightly more finesse in-game. I wouldn't be able to acknowledge that for sure, but I think so. Now, this one felt better, but I actually can't tell for sure. But let's see. So, run block finesse plus 10, run block, or pass block finesse plus 14, run block 4, 1 for lead, 1 for pass block, and then 6 awareness. So, 1 less awareness. Obviously, you have to compare the two. So, as far as pass block goes, it was 3 better for agility. However, 1 worse technically for run block, and then for the Ness anyways. But 3 better run block for the power lead. I don't think there was any. There was no strength upgrade here, and the pass block regular was the exact same. So, as we expected, pass block power, or whatever the hell it's called, power blocking is the best upgrade. But once again, it kind of depends on what you need and who you're going to be going against. If it's a left tackle, right tackle, I'm probably going finesse. And then if it's the interior, I'm almost certainly going with power. But those are the upgrades for the offensive side of the ball. So just to recap, as far as quarterback goes, we'd be leaning towards improviser for the speed upgrade potential, but field general seems to be the best in general, because it just seems like throw power comes from anyone. I will say, though, maybe it has something to do with the fact that they're lower overalls, because I swear, whenever I used to use strong arm in the past, it does seem like you get more throw power upgrades, but apparently not. As far as running back goes, it depends on what you need. So realistically, you're hoping your guy comes out of the gate with good trucking, because if he does, then you're golden, because juke move is by far, the elusive style is by far the best for getting stuff like speed, excel, and agility. And even then, juke move and spin move upgrades seem to be more common than trucking and stiff arm was for the power back. So technically elusive. Don't touch receiving unless you're crazy. And then for this one, blocking by far. Receiver was a close call, but we leaned on deep threat with, I believe, route runner being kind of close to second. And once again, it kind of depends on what you need, but deep threat seemed like the best. Tight end was dead even, and I surprisingly would maybe give the nod. Nah, you got to go vertical threat. It's just too goated. Both upgrades were insane, really good stuff, but vertical was just a little bit better. Possession was slightly more for blocking. Vertical was slightly more for route running. And then offensive line, it's not even close. Power is just by far the best. But anyways, that was my filler video. Typically, when it's a filler video, it's supposed to be really easy to make and quick to make. This took a lot longer than that. It's like rebuild status for how long this took. So if you guys did enjoy this one, maybe learn some things, maybe you're calling BS. You're like, hey, I know you did a bunch of upgrades, but I still think this is the best upgrade point. Let me know in the comment section below, because, of course, there were some that I was a little surprised on. I was surprised juke move didn't come away with maybe 2 speed. I'm also surprised that trucking or the power style didn't come away with something, you know, even 1 to acceleration. You know, the power backs still need acceleration. You know, I'm surprised on that. And as far as tight end, I thought vertical threat would have smoked it, but it didn't. So let me know in the comment section below what you think. And for quarterback, that's the biggest one, of course, always the biggest argument. Do you still think improviser is the best, or do you think the old faithful strong arm is the best? Field general has always been a really clutch one for accuracies, though, so I might go for that. It also kind of depends on what abilities you want as well, so there's a lot into it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. And yeah, hopefully you guys come back for next video. I don't know if I would have done the stats and awards for Raiders franchise before or after this, so if you haven't seen it, look forward to that today. And if you have seen it, well, see you tomorrow for a Dolphins franchise episode. I'll keep you posted as much as possible in the community tab if we're going to stream anytime soon. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.